Hi there boys and girls, and welcome to Harvest Glasgow Kidsman. It's important to remember that all the stories you hear at Kidsman are from the Bible, and that means that it's true. Today's story is from 1 Kings, and that's quite near the beginning of the Old Testament. And it's chapters 18 and 19 if you'd like to read that with a grown-up later on. Well, the question I want you to think about today as you listen to the story is, how many gods are there? And as we hear the story, you realise that there really is only one true God. And that means that we put other things in front of God, like fame or power or celebrities or money or a fancy car and a big house. When we put those things in front of God, then we're sinning. Only God created the world. Only God loved us by sending Jesus to rescue us. He alone deserves worship because of who he is and what he's done. So let's listen to the story to find out more. The story today is called Elijah at Mount Carmel.
Hello boys and girls, it's Grace here. I hope you're all doing well. Today's story, boys and girls, comes from the Bible, and it's about a bad king called King Ahab. And he was bad because he led God's people to love something else more than God. And it was a statue, and the statue was called Baal. A wee bit like bad, but except it's Baal. Can you say that? He was bad. And Elijah, he was a good man who loved God, said to the king to meet him with the other prophets of Baal. And Elijah told the people, the prophets, to make an offering to Baal, to the big statue, with no fire on it. And he said, you prophets call to bad Baal, and I will call on the Lord, the good Lord. And whoever answers is the true God. So Baal's prophets started singing and dancing. They were crying and shouting out to Baal to answer. But there was nothing. Silence. Nothing. And Elijah poured water on the altar to make it harder. And he cried out to God. And guess what, boys and girls? God sent fire onto the altar. And everything went up into flames. And it was the fire from heaven. And that showed everyone that he is the Lord. He is the true God. And the people shouted, the Lord is God. The Lord is God. Can you shout that? How about you walk around your living room or run around your house shouting, the Lord is God. Because he is. He's greater than anything else. So boys and girls, Elijah prayed to God and God listened and sent him fire. So when we pray, God hears us and God shows us that he is the one true God. Boys and girls, thank you so much for listening this morning. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Bye.
No rain fell in the land of Israel for 3 years. God was punishing the people for turning away from him to worship false gods. Without rain, the lakes and rivers dried up. People could not grow crops in the fields. Finally, God was ready to send rain. God told Elijah to go to Ahab, the king of Israel. So Elijah obeyed God. Elijah told the king, meet me at Mount Carmel. Bring the people of Israel and the prophets who worship false gods. King Ahab and the people met Elijah at the mountain. Elijah said, make up your minds. If you believe the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. Elijah set up a challenge to show who is the one true God. The prophets of the false god Baal set up an altar first and put a bull on it. Elijah said, call to Baal and ask him to send a fire to your altar. I will call on the Lord. The God who answers by sending fire is the one true God. The prophets of Baal danced and cried out for hours. "Answer us," they said. But no one answered. "Shout loudly," Elijah taunted them. "Maybe he is sleeping." Still, no answer. Then the people gathered around Elijah. He set up an altar, dug a trench around it, and put a bull on it. Elijah told the people to pour water on the altar so everything was wet. Then Elijah prayed, "Lord, answer me so that these people will know that you, Lord, are God." God sent fire from the sky. It burned up the bull, the wood, the stones, and the dust. It dried up the water in the trench. When the people saw this, they fell face down and said, "The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God." Elijah had all the prophets who worshiped Baal killed. The sky grew dark with clouds, and God sent a great rain. King Ahab told Queen Jezebel everything that Elijah had done. Jezebel wanted to kill Elijah.